And welcome to Pine Bluff, Jordan Stadium, home of the Zebras, as it says across the way. I'm Jeff Matthews, joined by Jim Files and Scott Stats Taylor, as we are here to bring you Wampus Cat football as the Wampus Cats take on the Pine Bluff Zebras. And welcome back to Jordan Stadium in Pine Bluff. I'm Jeff Matthews. Jim Files is with me, and Jim, good evening, and let's hope we can get ourselves a victory tonight. Two teams on the football field, Pine Bluff and Conway, that both desperately need victories this evening.
And I think both of them believe that they can get a victory tonight. Although Pine Bluff doesn't have a win on the year, they have one very notable tie, Jeff, and that was against Fayetteville in Fayetteville. And Fayetteville is tied for first place in the 7A West. So, it's an impressive team, and they've had some tough losses, and the most recent one coming against Russellville, 1-point loss.
Well, and special teams was the difference in that game, much like it was for the Wampus Cats a week ago. The special teams, the difficulties that occurred there, gave some very short fields to a good Bryant football team. The defense played well last week, but they still lost that game 17-6 to the Wampus Cats.
Yeah, you got to feel sorry for that Conway defense because they played incredible, and they have been playing really good lately. And another player, another aspect is Isaiah Jackson, who's played very well at several different positions. And we saw him not in the red offense, as we call it, but as a quarterback last week, and looked pretty impressive. They were moving the ball, just ran out of time against that Bryant team after the special team blunders kind of put them in a hole.
These Pine Bluff Zebras are coached by another familiar name. It's Bobby Bolding.
Right.
Saw his brother Brad coach earlier this year with North Little Rock, and, of course, their father Buzz is the longtime athletic director for the Wampus Cats. So it's another coach who has some experience in knowing what it's like to be a Wampus Cat, of course, and another coach that Coach Smith knows on a very personal level and has known basically his whole life that he's going to match up with tonight. This Pine Bluff Zebra program is down. That's no surprise. It's our first trip on campus, and as we walk around, you're reminded of state championships, 4 in the first 5 years of the 1990s. They 90, 93, 94, 95, of course, when Basil Shabazz was here, and they had those incredible teams under Marion Glover. The program is down, and you can see it even in the numbers of people who are out. There's not a big crowd, and this is homecoming tonight for the Pine Bluff Zebras. Officially announced today in the newspapers that this will be a program that will step down in classification. They'll actually go to 6A. So this being our first trip to Pine Bluff will most likely be our last trip to Pine Bluff for a while, as they make the trip down, or make the step down to 7A, and Van Buren actually comes into the 7A Central. So we'll be making that trip over to West Arkansas every other year to play Van Buren as part of the 7A Central officially when the new cycle begins next year. You see the Pine Bluff Zebras, again, as Jim mentioned, tough luck loss a week ago. Kicking woes were the difference in that game, as they just could not get a extra point to go through, and with no extra point going through, they had to go for 2. That didn't work out. Wampus Cats struggled with punting the football a week ago, and that was really the thing that led to the loss for the Wampus Cats. We'll keep an eye on all those things tonight. We'll take a 30-second timeout and come back with the opening kickoff from Jordan Stadium tonight as Pine Bluff plays host to your Conway Wampus Cats. That's next on Conway Corporation Channel 5 Sports. Pine Bluff across the way hosting your Conway Wampus Cats. Elsewhere in the 7A Central tonight, Cabot is at Bryant, Catholic is at Russellville, and North Little Rock plays at Quigley Stadium against Little Rock Central. But the game that we are most interested in, of course, is this one tonight in Pine Bluff, the Wampus Cats taking on the Pine Bluff Zebras. Glad to be here with you as the season is coming to an end. We've just got a couple of more games left after tonight, Russellville and Little Rock Catholic to still go, and unless the Wampus Cats can win out and get some help, it's going to be a tough chore to make it into the playoffs as that 4 seed. Any chance of that happening certainly begins with the victory here tonight over Pine Bluff. Pine Bluff comes into this game 0-6-1. As we talked about, the one tie against Fayetteville, 0-4 in the conference. The Wampus Cats are 2-5, 1-3 in 7A Central Conference play. Ben Reiner will kick off to begin the game for the Wampus Cats, as the defense for the Cats will be on the field first.
And a lot of these Pine Bluff games have been very close. The Catholic game, they were tied with them in the fourth quarter. Catholic got a score, I think, with 2 minutes left to win that one, 21-14. But it is just a very dangerous game against a team that is better than its record. And you might say the same thing about Conway, too.
Opening kickoff taken at the 30-yard line and taken across midfield by number 9. That's Jonathan Frazier. And it will be 1st and 10 in Conway territory for the Pine Bluff Zebras.
Dustin Hopper with a big hit there, going out of bounds.
He will stay out along with Spencer Jones, Nick Langford, and Terrell Hurd. They will be the secondary. Anthony Maltby along the defensive line, along with Zach Sanders. Tony Fields is out there also, or excuse me, Elton Farr out there. Benton Conk on the end. Will Schiestel injured, and he is not going to be in the starting lineup. On the other defensive end, Blaylock and Wofford, of course, are the linebackers. Flea flicker and going deep. Dustin Hopper there to knock the pass away. It was intended for number 81, Cameron Collins.
Well, looked
good
like,
play by Dustin Hopper.
It looked like Hopper had a real good chance to intercept that, too. It carried a little bit further than he thought there. It looked like he misjudged it a little bit. But still, yeah, you're right. Good play. The main job is to make sure the receiver doesn't catch it, and he did that.
It will be second down and 10.
A little trickery there from Pine Bluff.
Starting in place of Will Schiestel tonight, number 48, Jacob Duke. Jacob Duke getting the start at the other end. Shotgun formation for Claude Johnson, the starting quarterback for Pine Bluff. He will hand off from that shotgun formation, and a big hit at the 35-yard line. And it's going to be first and 10. Martez Glass on the carry. And that's going to be enough for a first down. And once again, we're in a broadcast position that's a little bit of a challenge as to the calls for the first down markers and where the ball actually is. A real low angle here on the visiting sideline, and the markers are on our side.
We'll figure it out, though.
We will figure it out. It is a first and 10. They definitely got to the 35-yard line.
Yeah, they did.
That's where it will be. This Pine Bluff team, as you mentioned, athletic, better than their 0-6-1 record.
Fast.
They're big. Yeah, we saw them
Yeah.
as we walked in. They were warming up, and you could tell there was some size. Now, there could be some mental mistakes, and there's one as number 51, Ketron Goodwin, jumps.
And that's what's killed them all season is just mistakes like that. Not getting a snap count right.
First down and 15 for Pine Bluff. Just underway from Jordan Stadium. Stadium that was built a long time ago. We saw it was part of the WPA. 1936 this stadium was built as we were walking into the visiting side here. Seen a lot of great football through the years as there have been so many state championship teams and 10-win teams that we saw some of the paintings on the buildings here. It looks like there's a little progress behind us. I think they're building a indoor practice facility. But again, it was official today that the AAA announced that this team will be dropping down to 6A after this season. Timeout called by Coach Bobby Bolding. We'll take it with him. A 30-second timeout on Comet Corporation Channel 5 Sports. And back at Jordan Stadium in Pine Bluff as the Wampus Cats getting back on the field defensively. See the Cats making their way out there. No score. First and 15. There's 11 minutes and 10 seconds to play. We've just, played a minute yet.
Yeah. Well, and Pine Bluff had to call that timeout to avoid having a delay of game after the penalty for the false start. So a sloppy play so far from Pine Bluff, but they're still moving the ball.
Right. And in game number 8, you would think that the sloppy play would be gone, but it is not. Shotgun formation, their quarterback, Claude Johnson. Still stepping up. Now change it and come up under center.
Conk.
Got some good movement. Throws deep. He's got a man open, and it's intercepted. Dustin Hopper was there.
Yeah, missed the last one, but he got that one.
Number 9, Dustin Hopper, 6'2", 175-pound senior, makes another interception. He's had a bunch this year. He stepped in front of that pass, made the pick, and the Wampus Cats will have it first and 10 at the 20-yard line. There was actually room for Johnson to run with this ball, but instead he decides to throw. And a nice play by Hopper right on the end zone.
Well, and he had the receiver open for a moment, but he couldn't throw it hard enough to get it over Hopper, though.
Chase Calcagney at quarterback.
Defense getting the first break for Conway.
First and 10 for the Cats. Will Patterson to the near side. It's Cornett and Isaiah Jackson. There's Jackson. Isaiah Jackson gets to the 30-yard line.
Nice run.
That's going to be 10 yards on his first carry.
The offensive line had a good first half against Bryant and a bad second half. Let's see if they can continue to do that for 4 quarters.
Watch those pulling guards there, number 51.
Yeah.
Stephen Hicks and Zach Alderson both moving off of their spot around that right end, making the block. Tanner bowling the center. And it will be 1st and 10 for the Cats. 10:40 to play in the opening quarter. That's Mike Askew in motion.
Got
Magic.
room.
Lots of room. Magic. Isaiah Jackson will cut it upfield. He'll be tackled at the 26-yard line, but not after he picks up a bunch of yards. And it's 1st and 10. Wampus Cats finally seeing number 3 able to get outside and show off some of that speed.
Oh, and you got to see that because the offensive line's doing a great job, and it seemed to catch Pine Bluff off balance there. But the rest of it's just all Isaiah Jackson's speed. But look at that nice hole there.
Great block by Alderson. Zach Alderson out there making the big hit.
2 rushes for Jackson, 54 yards.
That's good.
Keep up that average of 27 yards a carry.
1st and 10 for the Wampus Cats in Pine Bluff territory. There's a whistle and a kind of half-hearted thrown flag. Let's see what the call will be.
It looks like false start on
Marshall
Conway.
Hall on the field. Back him up 5 yards following the illegal procedure. And it will be 1st and 15. Marshall Hall, battling injuries, is in the game. Brandon Blackwood also on the offensive line for the Wampus Cats. And so 1st and 15, we talked about mental mistakes. You don't want to see them at all, of course, but try to limit those as much as possible.
Yeah, Pine Bluff got on Conway's side of the field and committed 2 errors. And Conway on Pine Bluff side has committed 1.
Dakota Cornett.
Cornett makes up for it, though.
Nicely done. Dakota Cornett to the 20-yard line. He's 2nd down and 4.
That is a nice run, 10 yards.
Cornett still in the process of learning the fullback position and the holes and where he needs to hit. And that speed that he's got and the power that he's learning, it just gets better every week. And I know we've said that for a while, but you feel like he's just getting more confident back there every single game. And another nice run and a nice job of the offensive line, making some room and following him all the way to the 15-yard line. And it should be enough for another Wampus Cat 1st down.
Well, and you can usually see it early if Cornett's going to have a good game. He has good runs right from the start. So a very good sign for Conway that he's having success. And an even better sign that Jackson is having success, too.
Flag on the play. It was thrown on the far side of the football field. Let's see what the call is going to be. The referee's going to run over and talk to Coach Kenny Smith about it. See how Coach reacts. Not sure what this is about, that they would come over and talk to the coaching staff. Unless it's some sort of call another procedure penalty.
Yeah.
You think the referee was talking to Coach Smith about what
it was? Yeah, why they're calling it. Yeah. Well, and it's good that they do.
Yeah, so if they're doing something wrong, at least they can coach him and fix it.
Yeah.
Well, they're back, and the referees are not – they're struggling.
Yeah.
They just backed it up 5 yards from the end of the play. Are they saying that they called a penalty before the play even started? Well, I'm glad that we're not the only ones confused about this.
Yeah.
So now they backed it up another 5 yards.
You wonder if it's something like, the center moving the ball or something, and that can make a false start.
Well, whatever it was, everybody seems to be pleased that it's 2nd down and 9. I'm glad we're not in charge of stats. It's Isaiah Jackson. And a good run down to the 15-yard line.
Close to a 1st down. Actually should be.
It will be a 1st down. 1st and 10 for the Wampus Cats. They'll move the chains.
But you got to love the movement that Conway's getting up front. Look at those offensive linemen. They're not even really having to block a whole lot.
No.
They're pulling guards until they're,
Right.
5 yards downfield. That's a very good sign for Conway.
Brent Simmons, 87 to the near side. All kinds of room on this side. Dakota Cornett right up the middle. Untouched from 15 yards out, and Dakota Cornett is on the scoreboard. And the Wampus Cats, for the first time in 10 quarters, put an offensive touchdown on the football on the scoreboard and take a 6-0 lead.
Hicks and Alderson right in the middle of that line. Watch this hole that Cornett has to run through. And look at the Pine Bluff players laying on their back. That's the offensive line. Great job by them. That whole drive and made up for two false starts or three?
Right. Two
Okay.
or three, yeah.
That was a lot.
Yeah. 2 or 3 too many.
Very, very impressive.
Extra point is good by Ben Reiner, and the Wampus Cats take a 7-0 lead on Dakota Cornett's 15-yard touchdown run. Back with more after this 30-second timeout on Common Corporation, Channel 5 Sports. Wampus Cats take a 7-0 lead, Jim, and that was a great drive.
Oh, yeah, five plays, 3 first downs, and overcame the 2 penalties. Just the way that offensive line dominated, and our backs are able to run through those holes, obviously. I think that's a very impressive start to this game, especially on the road against this Pine Bluff team.
8:19 to play in the opening quarter. Cats leading 7-0. Dakota Cornett scores the touchdown, and Isaiah Jackson, a lot of yards on that.
Cornett, 2 carries, 25 yards. Jackson, 3 for 64.
Nick Langford on the stop on the special teams, and it'll be 1st and 10 for Pine Bluff.
Our defense bent a little bit on that last drive.
Yep.
Let's see if they can stiffen up a little bit.
Well, and clearly Pine Bluff's not afraid to throw the football. So,
well,
our secondary,
after that last throw, they may be a little more tentative. But they do have some speed, and they think that they can get downfield, obviously. But so far, Conway doing a good job of stopping that. Or Dustin Hopper's doing a good job of stopping that. He defended one pass and intercepted the other.
4 wideouts for the Zebras. And it will be a handoff. And good yardage. Plenty for a first down. Dustin Hopper makes the stop. Martez Glass on the carry. You want Dustin Hopper making plays, but not tackles on runs.
All right.
Stop the clock with 8:06 to play in the opening quarter. Wampus Cats up 7-0.
Well, and that's how Pine Bluff moved the ball in their last drive, was on the ground. They had success before the interception.
Just across midfield at the 49-yard line.
Glass, 2 carries, 31 yards for Pine Bluff.
They will give the ball off.
Blaylock.
Blaylock with a nice tackle.
And Walford over there.
Jarvis Mayo on the carry. Wofford on the stop as well. 7:55, and the clocks continue to run here in the first quarter. In what is a very, very quiet Jordan Stadium. We're in the visiting side and behind a plate glass, but there is at least a little bit of an opening here where you could hear some crowd noise if there was any, but there's just not, as it's quiet in Jefferson County tonight.
Homecoming, too.
Yep. 2nd down and 4. More movement. Back him up. It'll be 2nd down and 9. The Wampus Cats back at home next week against Russellville. And then on the road.
Doesn't get any easier.
It does not. No, this is life in the 7A Central. Life in all the 7As. Both of them.
Yeah.
7A West is obviously tough.
Catholic after that,
Yep,
right?
And Catholic down at War Memorial Stadium.
They're not easy. Really need to win tonight. This is, of those 3 games, this is the most winnable.
Garrett Graham
on paper
into the game for Brian Wofford, who comes off, and he is having his helmet looked at. Nowhere to go. Glass carried the football, and he is stacked up by the Wampus Cats.
Conk, Sanders, in on that.
Actually loses a yard. It will be 3rd down and almost 10. Real long 9 is what they're going to call it. 6:45 to play. The clock's running. The Wampus Cat defense looking to make a stop and get the Cats back on the field offensively. Johnson will throw. He's got a man. Looked like his knee was down.
It was close.
Now flag comes in. I think this could be a long game simply from from the flag standpoint of things.
I think a wide receiver out there was holding.
Cordero Frazier was the receiver. Yeah, it sure looked like a hold. And they will. They're talking it over with the defensive captains for the Wampus Cats, and most likely going to wave that off and make it 4th down. Or actually, coach is saying back them up.
Yeah.
Holding against the Zebras. And they are going to back it up 10 yards. It will be 3rd down and 19. Not afraid to throw the deep ball and give them a chance to get lucky and get another one. It would have been 4th down. They were short of the 1st down, right?
Oh, yeah, they were. But being on the Conway side of the 50, they might have went for it.
Might have still gone for it. You're right.
I think that may have been a good break for Conway.
You think more like a coach than I do.
I don't know.
Well, you do. You do a fine job thinking like a coach.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. 3rd down and 19, 6:25 to go in the opening quarter. There's some noise coming from the Conway fans in front of us now. 3 wideouts. And Johnson will look to throw. He stands up tall in the pocket and goes deep. And Nick Langford slipped, and it's going to go for a touchdown.
It looked like he stepped out of bounds, but I don't. Oh, the official did see it. Okay. I thought I was the only one that saw that for a minute.
Jarvis Mayo makes the catch and steps out of bounds at the 27-yard line. It will be 1st and 10 there. But 1st and 10 from there, much better than going the distance for a touchdown.
Well, he was open before Nick slipped out there. But I think he would have had a chance to make a play on that ball.
Yeah, I think he would have too. So it will be 1st and 10 inside the 30-yard line. 6 minutes and 4 seconds to play in the opening quarter. A snail's pace of this opening quarter. 1st and 10 at the 27. Johnson will hand off. That's Glass. Trying to find some room to run, and finally does. He makes the stop.
Jones with a nice play out there for Conway. Was able to beat his man and push Glass out. Glass probably should have cut that one up inside.
Like Wofford was there as well.
Yeah, Wofford was in there to finish it. But watch Jones out there on
19.
the outside. He grabs a hold of him right there.
Yeah, sure does. Blake Blaylock there also. 30 was coming off the pile. 5.5 minutes to play in the first quarter. 2nd down and 10. No gain on the play. You see Spencer Jones get a good shot of 19 over there. You can see he's got that hand.
Uh-oh.
And that's going to be a touchdown that time. 27 yards out, touchdown pass to Mayo.
Right in the middle of the field. Somebody missed something there in coverage. Was wide open.
Mayo makes the catch, and it is an extra point away, which is not one of the strengths of this team, from tying this game up.
I think the Conway's defense can make some adjustments to stop this Pine Bluff attack.
Absolutely.
But the offense is going to need to keep making plays because there's so many threats on this Pine Bluff team to score.
And here comes the extra point attempt. And it gets through, ties us at 7. 5:14 to play, back in 30 seconds on Conway Corporation, Channel 5 Sports.
Welcome back to Jordan Stadium. Steph Matthews taking a break. I'll be guiding until he gets back.
American Standard, heating and air
nice
conditioning.
drive for Pine Bluff. Made a couple of errors and we're able to overcome them just like Conway did. Conway's defense has got to make some adjustments.
Maybe it's too comfortable.
2 wide open receivers allowed for big gains for Pine Bluff. Conway Conway threaten to score, though, anytime you see Jackson back there ready to get a kick.
Let us rebuild your credit. Purchase your next vehicle at Coran Auto Sales. I'm Secret Coran. Your credit score becomes more important every day. That's why at Coran Auto Sales, you get more than a great deal. You get a fresh start.
Hopper
Buying a car from Coran Auto Sales can raise your credit score.
It looked like he had a hole for a minute. Ran into his own player,
and remember, at Coran Auto Sales, bad credit, slow credit, no credit,
still pretty good field position.
No problem.
5 minutes, 6 seconds to play. That's first quarter. It's been a long quarter. A lot of penalties. Cal Cagney has guided Conway throughout this first quarter. Some thought of Jackson at quarterback as he did last week, but Cal Cagney doing a good job so far. And he gives the ball to Jackson. Jackson still, he's got some room, a flag thrown. And that's usually holding, but it had nothing to do with the play, though. So a bad mistake for Conway if that's what it is. It was on the opposite side of the field from the run. Clip. Well, one official was signaling clip. The other one says holding, so holding it is. And that's a shame because it really had nothing to do with the play. Jackson with a nice gain. Jackson in the game, 3 carries, 64 yards. Cornett having a nice game too. Two carries, 25 yards. Cornett with a 13 yards per carry average. Jackson with a 21 yard per carry average. Askew in motion. Cal Cagney gives to Cornett up the middle. Hole not as big as he's seen earlier in the game. Brings up a second and a very long 19 yards. Second and 17 make it. Cal Cagney gives to Jackson. Nowhere to go again. This Pine Bluff defense starting to get a little confidence, and that's not a good sign for Conway. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 15. Or no gain. They're saying 3rd down and 17. And we have Jeff Matthews back with us, so I'll take back my color roll.
You take it. Thank you for covering for me. A little tickle in my throat. They got water here, though. It's good news.
Good.
4:09 to play. Anything happen while I was gone?
Looks
like we backed up a little bit.
Yeah,
what
we
happened?
did. We did. We're going the wrong way. Holding call set us back.
Holding. We can't do that. Chase Cal Cagney to throw. And he does, looking for Isaiah Jackson. Isaiah makes the catch at midfield. First down for the Wampus Cats as Chase Cal Cagney stands up tall in the pocket and makes the pass. Catch made by Isaiah Jackson. He is horse-collared down.
I'll tell you what, that is a big throw for Cal Cagney. Been struggling to get his confidence and find his game, but that's a bullet right on the money to Jackson, and on a 3rd down when we're going the wrong way.
Right.
Yeah, so that's a very clutch play by Cal Cagney.
Anthony Graham making the tackle. Moves the chains, 1st and 10.
Just goes without saying Jackson made a good catch. But
right. But, I mean, the pass was where it needed to be, too.
Yeah.
Hit him in stride. He was
right.
covered well, and only place it could have been. Hand off to Jackson. Good block out there by Dakota Cornett, but there's too many there for Dakota to block.
I talked about defensive adjustments for us. Pine Bluff has made some. Those holes are not near as big as they were earlier.
3 minutes, 13 seconds to play. The clock's running, tied at 7, following the 27-yard touchdown pass that was complete to Jarvis Mayo from Claude Johnson. kind of hope this will be one of those games where we could just pull away and make the clock run fast.
Right.
That's not going to be the case. This
No.
Pine Bluff team is looking at
Yeah.
this game like their chance to win just as much as the Wampus Cats are.
And they believe that for sure.
Cornett a few yards. It'll be third down again for the Cats.
Yeah, the one tie we talked about at Fayetteville, that was the first game of the season, I believe, up in Fayetteville. So that that was surprised a lot of people and gave Pine Bluff a lot of expectations of a big year. So they're still reeling from that.
Absolutely.
This is a team that had a lot of expectations after that game.
Right, and that Fayetteville team has turned out to be very good.
Yeah.
As they're one of the teams that are tied for the top spot in the 7A West. Third down and 7 for the Wampus Cats. Calcagney hands the ball off to Isaiah Jackson, who looks for room to run, and he'll be short of that first down. Gets to about the 41-yard line.
Yeah, Conway's or Pine Bluff side of the field, third or fourth and short. Go for it, I think.
He's going to go for it. Yeah,
and we are.
Well, and we talked about it earlier, and Coach referenced it during the pregame show, during the Coach Kenny Smith show. The special teams unit last week struggled. They 2 block punts that led directly to 10 points that ended up being really the backbreaker for this Wampus Cat team against the number 1 team in the state. So there's probably some confidence issues there as well, but certainly on this end of the field, you got to go for it, 4th and 1.
Uh-oh.
And not going to get it.
No.
Not going to get it as Dakota Cornett is stacked up, and the Wampus Cat defense will go back out on the field.
Used Jackson as a decoy, but it didn't work.
So 1st and 10 for the Pine Bluff Zebras. And the Cat defense back out there.
Yeah. See if they can make some adjustments to that passing game. Two long completions on that last Pine Bluff drive.
That big 3rd and 19. And
Oh, yeah, that was the killer there.
First down and 10 from the 42-yard line. Hand off to Glass, and Benton Conk makes the stop, and here comes
flag.
another flag.
Yeah.
And they will decide what the call is, and Coach Kenny Smith is talking to the side judges here that are closest to the coaches. They a lot of you kind of just have to block all that out, don't you?
I would think so. They may even have like earpieces in or something where they can't hear.
Because even when they're not making the calls, they're the ones who get the brunt of the noise from the coaching staffs.
Oh man, yeah. Yeah, face mask.
We have face mask against the Wampus Cats. And Coach Kenny Smith not pleased about the call. Got his arms folded and puts the hat back on. Glaring at somebody. It's going to be first down and short. It's been a long time since we've seen a referee unit that's seems to be struggling. Maybe they're not struggling as much as we think they are, but it just seems that way. Another pass play. Johnson's got time. Pressure. And he'll throw it out of bounds. And Benton Conk
Some quarterback pressure.
knocks Johnson down.
Luckily, didn't get a flag though.
Yeah. You might have been able to hear stats in the background. Don't hit him. And he got him. But no flag on the play. So Anthony Maltby get past his block, and Tony Fields over there, and Benton Conk also.
Good coverage by the secondary.
Second down and a yard. 51 seconds to play in what's been a very long first quarter, and another flag on the play. He's pointing at Terrell Hurd. It's going to be offsides against the Wampus Cats. Tyler Hall into the game for Tony Fields as Fields is out. And that'll move the chains. 1st and 10 now for Pine Bluff.
Well, they called it on Hurd, which plays the cornerback position, and that's not usually the person that jumps offside.
You don't see that often.
No.
And the guy he was covering was in motion, right?
Yes, he was. Yeah.
It's been an interesting first quarter, hasn't it?
Yeah. Official-wise, anyway.
Yes. Game's tied at 7. Quick pass. Complete. Blaylock slows him down. Conk finishes him off. It'll be second down. Pass complete to Frazier. And then second down upcoming for Pine Bluff. Tyler Hall on the stop, 73. And a nice play by big Tyler Hall as he comes over.
And I think looking at that play, that little screen that they throw there, that's, you see Hurd has to jump on that. And maybe he read that as that when he was offsides earlier. He read that as that screen and tried to jump it.
Hand off to Glass.
And oh,
shocking,
wow.
another flag. And it looked like that was Jacob Duke that went airborne to go try to make that stop. Number 48, who's in for Will Schiestel. Watch 48 here.
Maltby also in there. Yep.
See what this flag's for. We don't keep up with such things. We keep up with a lot of stats. Oh, you do keep up with penalties. When did that happen?
Well, he's been working on that last couple of weeks.
That's great.
We didn't want to tell you until we got it down.
Well, I'm impressed. Now's a good time. Holding zebras. Write that one down. Holding zebras. 3 seconds left in what has been a 40-minute first quarter of football. We have had some games this year that it's at 7:40. It's been halftime.
Five penalties for Conway and
So
4 for Pine Bluff.
9 penalties in the first quarter alone.
Yes, 9 penalties in the first quarter. It's not
that finally has come to an end. We'll take a 60-second timeout and come back with the second quarter. We're tied at 7 in Pine Bluff. More next after this 60-second timeout on Conway Corporation Channel 5 Sports. The teams have switched ends of the field, and the Wampus Cats still on defense, second down and 13. 9 penalties in the first quarter, thanks to Stats for keeping up with that. And if ever there was a night to keep up with it, it has been tonight so far. Let's see if this second quarter is less penalty plagued. Johnson, time to throw.
Yeah, too much time.
Will now run and be stopped.
Conk and Wofford.
Yep, Conk and Wofford, 53 and 55, making the stop. It'll be third down and 9. Yep, third down and 9. This quarterback's pretty impressive. I mean,
he
stands up tall.
Good coverage by the secondary again.
Pretty physical quarterback. Number 12, Claude Johnson. He'll bring his team back up, third down and 9. Two wide outs to the near side, and he'll look this way. Johnson waits, throws. Langford, nobody's going to get to that. It will be fourth down and 9 upcoming.
Johnson just a sophomore.
Johnson's just a sophomore, their quarterback?
Yeah.
Does he have his size?
Yeah, 6 foot, 190.
He must have a weird angle. He looks bigger than 6 foot to me.
He does. Well, this was earlier in the summer, so he might have grown a little bit since then.
He's got a big arm, too.
Yes, he does.
Throws the ball with a lot of confidence.
Good presence and good feet back there, too. Able to get out of trouble.
Play clock down to 12, and they will punt the football, but a little odd formation that they'll come out and punt in. Down to 5 seconds. Down to 3 seconds. Down to 1 second. They barely get it away. And a bad punt. That goes out of bounds at the 28-yard line, it looks like. 30-second timeout, and we're coming back with the Wampus Cats having the ball first and 10 on Conway Corporation Channel 5 Sports. Chase Calcagney at quarterback for the Wampus Cats, first and 10. The Cats tied with Pine Bluff, 7-7.
Cornett with some room.
Great run by Dakota Cornett. Got enough for a first down. Moved the chains to first and 10 at the 45-yard line. Well, he is fun to watch, and you know that he is most likely going to be the tailback for this football team next year.
Right.
With the speed that he has, and with Mendoza hopefully coming back completely from the injury, he'll have the fullback slot. Chase will have some experience under his belt. Ryan Koch, just a junior, hopefully coming
That's
back
right.
next year also. So the skill positions will have a lot of experience coming back next year for the Wampus Cats. Isaiah Jackson, the senior, across midfield to the 47-yard line, doing a good job protecting the football as he runs through the middle. It will be second down.
Cornett runs a 4.4, I believe is what Coach said.
Yeah.
He is fast, and so is that number 3 there, too.
And Dakota learning to run tough also, not just run
he's
fast.
He's got better.
Wanted to run hard.
Cornett now with 6 carries for 43 yards. Jackson 7 for 77.
Second down and 3. Mike Askew in motion. Take Simmons out there with him.
Uh-oh.
And a broken play. Nobody there. Chase gets stacked up and tackled at the 49. It'll be third down. And a busted play.
Cal Cagney turned to hand it off, and nobody was there.
I said Brent Simmons was out. There's actually Eric Engler, number 81, was out for the Wampus Cats. Yep. That's a lonely feeling, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
To turn and know there's nobody there. And it will be third down. Third down and 3. To the far side, number 26, Sean McFarland, see him into the game. Engler at the tailback, or at the wingback, rather. Dakota Cornett.
That's going
to be enough for a first down?
Yeah, should be. And that's the same play they ran earlier that didn't get the first down.
You know, we've talked a lot about injuries for this football team all throughout the season. Will Sheastel not playing in tonight's game? And also, we have not seen, unless I've just missed it, we have not seen Lester Robertson tonight either. We've seen some different people at the wingback slot. And I'm looking on the sidelines to see if I see 7 anywhere, and I don't see him.
Yeah, you're right.
So yet another injury, an offensive starter gone for this Wampus Cat team.
Robertson on the season, 33 carries, 206 yards, 6 yards a carry. So, yeah, he's an impact player when he's in there.
Cornett, few tough yards. Great run by Dakota Cornett.
Look who's on his back pushing him. Isaiah Jackson.
Fantastic.
And then underneath Cornett,
Marshall Hall.
Marshall Hall.
Coming up, he's got that brace on the left knee. Which big 77 working. And it'll be second down for the Wampus Cats. Got 6 yards on that. That's 6 pretty hard-earned yards. 8 minutes and 10 seconds to play in this first half. The Conway Corporation and First State Bank halftime show coming up.
Face
well, of
mask.
all the flags we've seen tonight, finally, that's one that we even saw.
Yeah.
Face mask. As Isaiah Jackson's head got snapped back.
He adjusted his helmet a little bit there.
Good shot by our camera guys to catch that. Matt and Ben out there in the stands tonight. Referees will talk it over, and could be a personal foul. Face mask. 15 yards, but automatic first down. So first and 10 for the Wampus Cats, and deeper into Pine Bluff territory. Game tied at 7. A touchdown run by Dakota Cornett and a touchdown pass for the Zebras. Calvin Mayo on the receiving end of a 27-yard, Jarvis Mayo on the receiving end of a 27-yard touchdown pass in the first quarter. Tied the game at 7, which is where we are right now.
Pine Bluff with the touchdown pass in this game. Conway yet to have a touchdown pass this season.
Right.
We got some rushing, but none passing.
Eight minutes, 2 seconds to go. First and 10. We're in the first half. And Calcagney to throw. Pressured and dropped. Tackled at the 30-yard line. They're going to call it the 28. But it'll be second down.
Yep, Cal Cagney not with enough time to find anyone.
Watch the replay here. Yep. Just a good defensive play by 54 for the Zebras. That is Martin Montgomery. Second down and 17. Josh Crawford to the near side. You see him on the corner of your screen. And Calcagney under center behind Tanner Bowling. Gives it out to Jackson. Isaiah looking for room to run. And
Nowhere.
a good Pine Bluff defense making the stop.
They're hard to beat out wide. The most success we've had is in between the tackles tonight.
Montgomery again and on the stop, big number 54. He's watched his team for a few plays and realized how good a defensive player he is. He's running down the line of scrimmage to make that stop. 6:40 to play in the first half, tied at 7. 3rd down and 16 upcoming.
Interesting couple of calls coming up here.
Yep.
You try to get in field goal position. Reiner with a good leg.
Kicked from 42 pretty consistently in pregame warm-ups, but had to get the play
Conway.
away quickly, and he does.
Oh.
In and out of the hands of Eric Engler.
Well, Engler wouldn't have had enough room to get a first down, but he could have picked up some positive yards. Turned his head before that ball was tucked away.
So 4th down and 16. Ball's on the 27-yard line, so they'll snap it, put it down at the 35. That's a 45-yard attempt. No wind.
I think that's maybe a little further than Coach is comfortable with.
Yeah, I think that's maybe just outside of the comfort range, and they are going to go for it.
I think if they could have got 5 yards or so right there, and I believe they could have, then maybe then they would have tried the field goal.
4th down and 16, and a timeout called by the Wampus Cats. We'll take it with them. A 60-second timeout, and back with Conway Corporation, Channel 5 Sports. 4th down and 16. The Wampus Cats are going to go for it. Referee.
Need 16 yards for a first down.
Not sure what the referee is doing. The play clock's already running. It's already down to 15, and he's just now stepping out of the way. Calcagney will throw over the middle.
Got Jackson.
Catch is made by Isaiah Jackson. How about Chase Calcagney putting it right where it's got to be twice now? Is that going to be enough for a first down? Did he run a 17-yard route?
I believe so. We got a bad angle, but
yeah,
it looked like he had enough. Yeah. Oh, short.
It is going to be. Well, now the Conway coaching staff is making all kinds of noise. They want to see the chains brought out. They need to try to measure this if they can, it looks like, but the referee and the side judge talking it over.
But regardless, you're right. Calcagney with a nice throw there, and Jackson, of course, with a nice reception. Jackson, the leading receiver on the season for Conway. 15 receptions, 198 yards, 13-yard average.
I think Coach is upset because the chain gang moved the chain before they were able to get a good read on it.
Well, I don't know if that's the chain gang's fault or the officials' fault. For I think they said it was short.
So they went ahead and moved.
But regardless, it continues a theme here in the first half of some bad officiating.
And Coach Kenny Smith not happy with whatever decision is being made. They're going to go out and talk to the other officials. And I couldn't tell from where they needed to. Now they're going to bring the chains out.
Well, Coach
Smith is even more upset. You know, Coach can get animated, but I haven't seen him like this.
No. And it is very aggravating. I can see why he would be mad.
So they're going to stretch the chains here, and we'll see. And a good shot by our camera guys to stretch it out.
And he's arguing where they reset the marker, but I think it's first down. Yeah, it is.
And even after all that, it's a first down. So the Wampus Cats somehow, some way get a break there. And I think even the Pine Bluff fans now are talking about why that happened, how that happened. You know, the management of the game is such a big part of it. And it's the officials. You know, it's like you don't notice them unless they're having a tough night.
Yeah.
And they're being noticed tonight a lot.
Yeah, they are.
So for the Wampus Cats, it's good news. It's first and 10 from the 11-yard line. And the Cats got to capitalize now and put 7 points on the board. Chase Calcagny is having a great first half throwing the football and moving this team down the field.
Calcagny 2 of 3, 45 yards on the night. His best effort of the season.
Coach Bobby Bolden comes out and lets his feelings be known about it. Now we're going to get back underway to some football.
Well, both coaches have a right to be frustrated with the officiating.
First down and 10. 6 minutes to go in the first half. Tie ball game, 7 apiece. Isaiah Jackson will get into the end zone. Took one play following that first down for Isaiah Jackson to score from 11 yards out.
His 5th rushing touchdown of the season, and his 10th carry of this game. 92 yards to go with that one touchdown. That's a 9 yards a carry. Nice game so far.
You know, both touchdowns running-wise for the Wampus Cats, Cornett's and then Magic Jackson's right there.
Yeah.
I think on both touchdowns there was combined one hand
exactly.
that touched the two running backs. Great job by the offensive line to make some room and for the running backs to get through so quickly.
Right, yeah, that offensive line doing a very good job this first half.
Ben Reiner to make it 14-7. And he does. 5:49 to play in the first half. Wampus Cats up 14-7. Back in 30 seconds on Conway Corporation, Channel 5 Sports. So after a bizarre play where it was a long pass play that Chase Calcagny hooked up with Isaiah Jackson, and it appeared to be short at first, and then they decided to stretch the chain out after the chain had been moved, and it was like by the nose of the football and up for a first down.
Right.
Both coaching staffs mad, and understandably so. Isaiah Jackson scores from 11 yards out, and the extra point makes it 14-7. That's what matters right now.
Yeah, and Conway capitalized on a break. You know, whether it was really a first down or not, we didn't have a good enough angle to tell you. But they did capitalize on that break if it was one. And they put together a 10-play, 4 first-down drive.
Ben Reiner, little chip shot that's taken and returned to the 34-yard line, and that's where Pine Bluff will have it 1st and 10. 5 minutes and 40 seconds to play in this first half. Cats up 14-7 over the Pine Bluff Zebras. Again, this our first trip to Pine Bluff in the 7 years we've done Wampus Cat football, and it'll be our last for a while, as Pine Bluff will be dropping down to 6A with the next cycle that begins next year, and there's a new school in Rogers. And they will actually take the place of Van Buren, or excuse me, they'll take the place of Pine Bluff in the 7A structure, and then Van Buren gets shuffled into the 7A Central. So a little bit different look starting next year for the Wampus Cats conference-wise.
I don't know if I'm the only Wampus Cat that remembers that Parkview game, the last Parkview game. You remember that?
I do.
That still had a bad taste in my mouth. I don't want that with Pine Bluff. I want to look back and remember that last Pine Bluff game as a win, and I'm sure I'm not the only one that feels that way.
5 minutes and 20 seconds to play in the first half, and the Cats have a lead, 14-7 right now. Touchdown runs by Dakota Cornett and Isaiah Jackson, and the 2 extra points by Ben Reiner accounting for the 14 points that the Cats have put on the board tonight. 5 minutes to play in this first half. 3 wideouts to the near side, 1 to the far side. Claude Johnson, the talented sophomore quarterback for Pine Bluff, will look to throw. And will fire the ball deep. It goes out of bounds. Not very accurate, but he's got an arm. Threw that ball about 50 yards in the air, going to his left as a right-handed quarterback, and pressured.
Conk and Hall with that pressure. He does have a strong arm.
Just kind of flings it. And again, the accuracy isn't great. You see the ball bouncing into your screen there. 4 minutes and 24 seconds. It stops with the incomplete pass. It's 3rd down and 9. Cats looking for a stop right here. Get the ball back and maybe put some more points on the board before halftime. Maltbia putting some pressure on him. Johnson now throws deep and overthrows his intended receiver.
Just barely.
4th and 9.
Hopper there, but that was very close to being a completion.
He doesn't look to run very much, and he looks like he'd be.
He could, yeah.
He looks athletic, so you'd think, well, he's got to be able to pick up some yardage, and stays to it and throws it instead.
Johnson, 3 of 7 for 66 yards. Our secondary doing a pretty good job, though, in coverage.
It's 4th down and 9, 4 minutes and 13 seconds to play in this first half. And there's nobody back deep for the Wampus Cats. I'm not sure the coach believes they're going to punt the football. 4th and 9. And it is going to be a punt. That's why nobody was deep.
Right.
The knuckleball hits and backs up at the 48-yard line. The Cats have it there, 1st and 10 when we come back in 30 seconds on Conway Corporation Channel 5 Sports. Coming back with the Wampus Cats in possession of the football, 1st and 10. Hand off to Dakota Cornett. Not a lot of room. He still gets some yards,
He does, yeah.
Dakota Cornett picks up 2, maybe 3. And it will be 2nd down, under 4 minutes to play in this first half. It's been a pedestrian-like first half. 3 minutes and 49 seconds to play, and we've been playing football for over an hour, and we've still got almost 4 minutes to play in this first half. And there'll be an official's timeout. I don't know if they're changing the football out or what they're going to do. They're talking about it. The clock is running 3 minutes and 24 seconds, and they're trying to get the play clock to get the scoreboard clock to stop. There are probably 30 seconds that ran off there.
I'm going to say this is going to be our longest game of the year.
Yeah, I think it will be,
Yeah.
yes. And now they're going to try to get word up to the press box to put some more time back on the clock maybe.
Not as bad when you have the lead, though.
Oh, it is. It's
It's
much
still bad,
easier
but-
to do this when you're winning, yes.
Yeah.
And they will try to get the clock set. It's 3:23 right now. We'll see how much time they put back on it. If they will put any time back on the clock, they'll have to figure out how to do that. And they put 15 seconds back on. 3 minutes and 38 seconds to play now in this first half. 14-7, Cats up by a touchdown. At home against Russellville next week for the final home game of the 2007 season for the Wampus Cats, and on the road at War Memorial Stadium. Always a thrill, regardless of how the season has gone. For the kids to get to play a game at War Memorial is always a big thrill, and they'll get that chance in 2 weeks on a Thursday night as we play a Thursday night game. Isaiah Jackson carries the football, but it's third down, and about 3.
Pine Bluff player still down.
He takes a second to get up, and they'll stop the clock with 3:13 to play. Checking on the player.
I believe he's got to leave the game after that.
And he does. Young man's got some good size, too. Chris Scott, number 19. And the ball at the 46-yard line. Call it to 45, 3rd down and 3. Cal Cagney to Jackson. He is hit hard. And another face mag.
And he still got enough for a first down.
Boy, is that just kind of the epitome of what Isaiah Jackson goes through. We talked about it at dinner tonight.
Yeah.
About, hey, he gets hit harder than anybody that we watch play and just keeps getting up. The attitude doesn't change. Always just works hard. Gets brought down part by his face mask.
Definitely one of the toughest kids we've seen put on a
Absolutely.
Wampus Cat uniform. He just hops up right after it. I mean, cheap shots, whatever he gets, he doesn't complain. He just gets up and goes about his business.
At the 38-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Wampus Cats as the chains will move. And less than 3 minutes to play in this first half. Cats with very much a chance to score some more points.
And Jackson with that carry went over the century mark. Now 12 carries, 100 yards. Or reached the century mark.
And another flag on the play.
Wow.
And that's well into the double digits now for penalties in this game. We had 9 called in the first quarter alone.
I believe that's 12, right, Scott? 12 penalties.
6 penalties for each team. Offsides against Pine Bluff. Okay, update. 7 for Pine Bluff, 5 for the Wampus Cats in the penalty department.
Take that one off the Conway side. We've got enough as it is.
14-7. Cats are leading.
And driving.
And the clock starts, 2:40 to go, running here in the first half as it comes to an end. Again, at halftime, we'll have the First State Bank and Conway Corporation halftime shows for you. Hope you'll stick around for that. Students of the Week, a part of that. Cornett, still running.
That is a nice little, it was a short run, but it was nice. Yeah. He was very patient, followed his blocks, looked for a little crease, and managed to pick up some positive yards.
Going to be short of the first down, but not by a lot. Ball is at the 28-yard line. He's second down and short here. Second down and 2 officially. 2 minutes to play in the first half. Wampus Cats lead 14-7. Looking to extend the lead out to 21-7 if they can. Isaiah Jackson, he can. Isaiah Jackson does. And looking back, Isaiah Jackson from 28 yards out, he scores, and the Cats take a 20-7 lead.
Again, a nice hole for Jackson to run through this offensive line. They're contender for a player of the game if they keep that up.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the balance of that is Jackson now, 13 carries, 128 yards, 2 touchdowns. It's hard to compete with that as well.
Isaiah Jackson scores his second touchdown of the night, and Ben Reiner looking to kick the extra point. Magic Jackson looking back at that player in the secondary as he pulled away from him. Sort of thing that I think Coach Smith would talk to him about and go, put your head forward and just run into the end zone there.
He doesn't do that much.
No, he does not do it much.
I don't think you got to talk to him
at all. 21-7, Wampus Cats have a 14-point lead. Back in 30 seconds on Conway Corporation, Channel 5 Sports. First quarter. And welcome back to Jordan Stadium, home of the Zebras. Pine Bluff High School. We're on the campus there. 21-7. Wampus Cats have that 14-point lead, Jim.
Well, I said the offensive line may be a candidate for player of the game. I said you can't argue with Jackson. 13 carries, 128 yards, 2 touchdowns, and he also has 2 receptions for 45 yards. So quite a first half for Mr. Jackson. And that ball is live.
Sure is.
Pine Bluff not making a quick move to get on it.
Taken by Jonathan Frazier, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Pine Bluff Zebras. Trailing 21-7. Cats defense going to try to get the ball back, or at least hold them out of the end zone here in this final few moments of the first half. 3 touchdown runs. The stat of the season continues as far as touchdown passes this year.
Right.
At 0. But we're getting in the end zone now with the run, and that's good. It had been 10 quarters since the offense had scored.
Yeah, get in there. That's the important thing.
That's right.
You're right. It's been a while since we just got in the end zone offensively.
Patrick Wright on the carry. And it will be 2nd down after a short gain.
That's right, 2nd carry.
He got about 4 yards on it.
6 yards total for Wright.
Minute 18 to play in this first half. Cats will find themselves leading going into the halftime. 21-7 at this point. Johnson looks to throw quickly and does. Complete in front of Spencer Jones.
Boy, he took a hit.
Sure did.
Blaylock
hit him good. Langford. Also Duke over there. Just under a minute, the clock stops with the first down.
What's this hit at the end?
Big hit. Blaylock hit him right in the shoulder pads. First down and 10, just under a minute to go. Johnson throws, and it is complete.
Boy, and he's got time. He can get it there.
Cameron Collins makes the catch. And it moves the chains. 1st and 10. Hopper over there making the stop. He's got a pretty quick little release, too.
And he looks to throw before he looks to run.
Yep. Yeah, I've been impressed. Sophomore quarterback. 50 seconds to play in the first half. Wampus Cat defense trying to not bend too much. Pass complete.
They're going to have to get some pressure on him.
Sure are.
and tackle this guy.
Spencer Jones ends up making the stop. Hurd was there also. Catch made by Collins. And it's 1st and 10 again, just under 40 seconds to play in the first half.
Johnson now 6 of 10. First half.
Jacob Duke was hustling. Pass is incomplete. Intended for number 9, Jonathan Frazier. 2nd down and 10. Clock stops with 28.1 seconds to play in the first half.
Johnson with 118 yards in the first half pass, and most of it on this drive.
Yeah, he stood back there and had enough time, and his receivers have found little pockets to get open. 28 seconds.
Conway just not getting enough pressure on him.
He'll be up under center now. Seen him in the shotgun and under center. Pressure this time.
Oh, they didn't call holding. Looked like Maltby was tackled.
Catch is made, and he is into the end zone.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Into the end zone for a touchdown. Catch made by Jonathan Frazier. A 14-yard touchdown pass that makes it 21-13 with the extra point pending.
A nice drive. Look at Maltby getting a lot of pressure there. Maybe it wasn't holding. And then was that Hurd that, Langford that jumped that pass,
right,
trying to go for the breaking up the pass or the interception, and he missed. And that was the difference in that play.
Extra point pending. And the kick.
Hopper diving to block that, but unable to.
It's good. Makes it 21-14. Wampus Cats are in a battle tonight.
Well, yeah.
We're back in 30 seconds on Conway Corporation, Channel 5 Sports.
Hello, Arkansas. Monica Hickey here. Thank you for making Hagen's Dodge the #1 Dodge Chrysler Jeep dealer.
26.2 seconds to go. They marched the ball right down the field, throwing it behind the sophomore quarterback, Claude Johnson.
Yeah, Conway dropped back into coverage and was unable to get pressure on him, and he certainly punished them on that drive.
And they're going to kick it deep to Isaiah Jackson. Watch number 3. Isaiah still on his feet. Got to the 36-yard line. And it's 1st and 10 for the Wampus Cats. 19.7 seconds to play in this first half. First State Bank and Conway Corporation halftime show coming up in just a few moments. Students of the Week will be a part of that. And we'll also have the first half stats for you as put together by Scott Taylor. We will have that and, of course, the third quarter coming up very soon on Conway Corporation Channel 5 Sports. Still 20 seconds to go here in the first half, though. Cats leading 21-14. Two teams that are looking desperately for a victory in the conference. Bobby Boulding's Pine Bluff Zebras are winless, 0-4 in the conference. Wampus Cats 1-3. Isaiah Jackson, strong run to the 44-yard line. And they'll make no effort to stop the clock, it looks like, and that's going to do it for the first half. We're through one half of football in Pine Bluff, and it is 21-14. The Wampus Cats lead by 7. Back with the First State Bank and Conway Corporation halftime show next on Conway Corporation Channel 5 Sports. Welcome back to halftime. It is 21-14. The Wampus Cats have a 7-point lead. Jeff Matthews and Jim Files here, and Stats was busy in the first half, keeping up with all the numbers and keeping up with penalties. That was something that was kind of new for us and a lot to keep up with. But as part of the First State Bank and Conway Corporation halftime show, Jim Files will go over some of the numbers for you from that first half.
Yeah, officials, I think, dominated the first half.
They did,
Not only did they throw 12 flags, but they also delayed the game trying to decide whether it was first down at one point for Conway. But anyway, overall pretty good first half for Conway, as you can see, with the total yards of 232 for Conway, 183 for Pine Bluff. A lot of those coming on that last drive for Pine Bluff. And Jackson having a great first half for Conway. 14 carries, 134 yards on the ground, 9 yards a carry, 2 touchdowns. Cornett, 10 carries, 59 yards, 6 yards per carry, and 1 touchdown for him. Cal Cagney also making some great throws. 1 on 3rd down and another on 4th down.
Right.
2 of 3 in that first half. 45 yards, 22 yards per pass. and 2 of those receptions going to Jackson, two for 45 yards, and that's a 22-yard average.
And both completions kept drives going, third and fourth down completions.
That's right. Johnson for Pine Bluff, a big first half, especially that last drive.
Right.
7 of 12 in the first half, 132 yards, and that's a 19 yards per pass and 1 touchdown for him. Glass carrying the load for them in the first half, 5 carries, 34 yards. Not getting much done, obviously, on the ground. Mayo, 2 receptions, 58 yards, and that last touchdown for Pine Bluff.
21-14, the Wampus Cats have that 7-point lead, and they, Coach Kenny Smith in the locker room, they've got a halftime lead, which is a little bit different scenario, and some points on the board. I mean, this is a team that we talked about it, and it's been 10 quarters since the offense have gotten into the end zone. They've gotten in 3 times in this first half, and so there's some positive things that this team has had in the first half.
Yeah, and I think that a lot of the positive things are right at that line of scrimmage. The offensive line is opening some holes. They're moving the defensive line around, and I think that should continue. And the defensive line's doing a pretty good job too.
Yep.
The question is going to be about the secondary. They switched to the zone on that last drive, and it didn't work very well. So look for some changes there.
Well, clearly Claude Johnson can throw the football, and that's where they're going to look to move the ball. So you're right. That will be such a big part of what we see in the second half. We will take a 60-second timeout, and we come back. We'll have that second half kickoff for you coming up in just a minute on Conway Corporation, Channel 5 Sports. See the captains, they're back at midfield as they're about to go out and have the coin toss for the second half, and the Wampus Cats will make their way back onto the field. A homecoming again. Is this the third homecoming we've had to be a part of? Our own, and now.
Unfortunately, yeah.
That's right. Little Rock Central, this one, and ours.
Yeah.
So 3 homecomings the past 3 weeks. That
adds to the festivities.
The festivities are fun to see the.
If you like the festivities.
If you're into festivities, you're right. and if you're not, then not so much fun. Elsewhere in the 7A Central tonight, Cabot is at Bryant, and saw a second quarter score from that game. Of course, by the time you're watching this, you know what happened, but we don't know what happened. We're here live on Friday night, and Cabot actually has a 14-10 lead in the second quarter of that game. Catholic is at Russellville, and North Little Rock is at Little Rock Central. Now, the way the standings look in the 7A Central is this. Bryant is unbeaten in the conference, 4-0, 6-0-1 overall. Then there's a logjam there. Cabot, Catholic, and Russellville all at 3-1. A Cabot win over Bryant tonight puts both of them at 4-1, and Catholic and Russellville playing each other. So if Cabot beats Bryant, there's a 3-way tie for first place then as far as standings go. And then the team that stands at 3-2, which would be the loser of that Catholic and Russellville game, would be in 4th place. Little Rock Central is on the outside looking in right now as far as the playoffs go. They are playing host to North Little Rock tonight. North Little Rock is winless in the conference, as is Pine Bluff, Conway 1-3. So Bryant, Cabot, Catholic, and Russellville right now, those are the 4 teams that would represent the 7A Central in the playoffs. North Side is 3-1. Fayetteville is 3-1. Bentonville is 3-1, and so is Harbor, Springdale Harbor. So 4 teams tied at 3-1 in the 7A West. We had a chance to see Southside and Bentonville. Southside 3-1 and 1-3 in the conference. Just another example of how tough that conference is. Springdale at 1-3, 3-4 overall. They're on the outside looking in, as is Rogers, team that was obviously so good a year ago. And so, things change because kids change, obviously. It's a big part of it.
Exactly, and a lot of things can happen in the last couple of weeks. You talked about how good Rogers was last year, and Southside did the same thing last year. They didn't have a great season. In the end, they won just enough to be the last team in, and the last team in won the whole thing last year. So it just goes to show you whoever can get hot there at the end.
Well, and that's, we've talked about this with the Cats. It's going to be a struggle for them to make the playoffs. They're going to have to win out, clearly.
Yeah.
They'll have to win out. They'd put them at 4-3.
Right.
They'll need some help, most likely. And winning out's not going to be easy because you got Russellville and Catholic are the 2 teams after tonight. And tonight's proven to not be easy. So it's a tough road to hoe. And we'll see if the Wampus Cats are able to do it. We'll come back in 30 seconds and have the kickoff for you. A little bit delayed start here in the second half because of the halftime homecoming festivities. But we'll have that kickoff of the second half next on Conway Corporation, Channel 5 Sports. Welcome back to Jordan Stadium on the campus of Pine Bluff High School. You might have heard Stats in the background there as he was telling us about a friend of his that he saw down in the stands. Old Clem, I think was his name.
Stats knows everybody.
Did you call him Old Clem? No? Okay. But I did, but I don't know him. So I can call him that, right? But it is good to see a lot of people. We'd wondered how many Conway fans would make the trip down to Pine Bluff for this game. It's a little bit of a drive from Conway. It's about an hour and probably 15-minute drive from Conway. But there's a nice contingent of fans that made their way down to watch the Wampus Cats tonight. And they've seen a good first half of football, a long first half of football, but a first half that sees the Wampus Cats leading 21-14. Did not go 10 yards, and so the Wampus Cats are either going to get another shot at it. Coach Bobby Boulding coming out and calling for the onside kick, and it would have gone 10 yards. It would have worked.
Yep, Conway was totally caught off guard by that.
And they're going to have the ball with great field position, of course, but tell you what, if they execute that correctly, they have the football and that momentum from that great drive at the end of the first half. But instead, it's Wampus Cat football first and 10.
And now let's see if Conway can get the mo on their side.
21-14 is the score. Cats leading by 7. Tanner Bowling comes out. See Marshall Hall up there with him. Sanders, Alderson. These guys have done a nice job on the offensive line tonight. Brandon Blackwood there as well on the line. Mike Askew, the tight end. Isaiah Jackson.
Wow.
There goes magic. He will score from 49 yards out. And the Wampus Cats extend the lead.
Wow. Offensive line doing a good job, but a lot of that was Isaiah Jackson powering through the line, and then there was no one there to come close to him, just faster than anybody else on the field.
We have not had a chance to see a lot of the breakaway speed from Isaiah Jackson. We do right there, as he has distance every step. There's more room between him and the closest defender, and he didn't look back that time to see how close anybody was.
Jackson now 15 carries, 183 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Ben Reiner's extra point makes it 28-14. The Cats are on top. A 30-second timeout, and we're back to Jordan Stadium in Pine Bluff on Conway Corporation Channel 5 Sports. 28-14, the Wampus Cats extend the lead out to 14 points on an electrifying run from Magic Jackson, his 3rd touchdown of the night, Jim.
Just a great night for Isaiah Jackson. And, and it all started right off the bat with this the offensive line opening some good holes, and those backs just explode through the hole. So it's got to be fun blocking for those guys. You just have to get a little crease. And I'm not even sure it was a crease that he went through.
Yep.
It was just a little bitty gap, and once he got through there, he was gone.
Kick taken at the 25-yard line by Pine Bluff, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Zebras. And during the break, we talked to Stats about the onside kick backfiring, and that's just this game and the changes that it can take in just a second. If that ball goes another yard, then Pine Bluff has the football trailing by a touchdown, and the momentum of a good drive to end the first half and then executing an onside kick, they've got the ball moving to possibly tie the game. Instead, it doesn't go that extra yard. One play later, Isaiah Jackson goes 49 yards the other direction, and it's a 2-touchdown game again.
Yeah, you're right. It was a little bit of a gamble, but if Pine Bluff would have gotten that, they would have had the momentum in their corner. Now it's all Conway's because they didn't.
Great stop by the defense. Blake Blaylock there to make the stop, and it'll be 2nd down.
Wofford also getting up.
Watch the handoff, and then
Wofford and Blaylock double teaming that one.
Patrick Wright on the carry. We've talked a lot about this impressive sophomore quarterback, Claude Johnson. He's got 4 wideouts to pick from right now. Lots of time, too much time.
Oh.
Almost caught it twice.
Yeah. It was a nice throw, though.
Cordera Frazier was the intended receiver.
It hit Frazier right on the shoulder pad.
Thought we had a little tip drill happening there, but it almost fell back into his hands. 3rd down and 10. Dustin Hopper back there also in coverage. They're down in 10.
Conway's defense, well in a lot of aspects, but that zone defense, the pass coverage, has been problematic for Conway.
pressure from Elton Farr. It looked like he might have been held. It wasn't called. Dustin Hopper knocks it away, and it will be 4th down and 10.
That is Hopper's second pass defended to go with 1 interception and 2 tackles. Nice game so far for Hopper.
So we've talked about Claude Johnson tonight, but watch the speed that he throws this football. It's like a fastball from a pitcher.
Yeah.
I mean, the camera guys are doing the best job they can to even keep up with the ball, but it moves so quickly. It's hard to get your hands around, much less keep up with. And he's back to punt.
I don't believe he's gotten one over 11 yards so far. Now that one will do it.
Almost hits Hopper. And it will be down to at the 24-yard line, and the Wampus Cats will take over there. 1st and 10 when we come back in 30 seconds on Conway Corporation, Channel 5 Sports. And 1st and 10 for the Wampus Cats as they take over. Second drive of the second half, and Dakota Cornett, nice little stiff arm. Did look a little bit like Darren McFadden. His stats mentions that. It'll be, and you know, the thing that impresses me about Cornett, he gets 5 yards in a more sneaky way than anybody. You look up and think, well, he stopped for no gain. Nope, it's 2nd down and 5.
Yeah, and just the progress we've seen him make from that first game when he was thrown into the fire. He has improved so much, just running very strong. I mean, you can tell by looking at him, he's a tailback. He's not a fullback.
That's right. Yeah,
as far as his build goes.
Right.
But he has learned to fill in that role since Mendoza's been out. And he's got some weapons that Mendoza didn't have, and that being speed.
Cornett, nowhere to go that time, as there were all kinds of zebras around him.
Cornett's 12th carry, 66 yards for him.
Getting a lot of carries tonight, already 12. Well, there were 5, 6 zebras there to make the stop. They gave him a little bit of progress. 3rd down. Be 3rd down and 3. Ball's at the 31-yard line. Actually, 3rd down and 2. No punts tonight from the Wampus Cats, correct?
That's right.
They're like, shouldn't say that, like talking about a no-hitter.
We got a 4th down and long.
And you're going to have a call here to make it. I think he didn't get it. Going to be real close anyway. 4th down and 1.
Yeah, I think you're going to see a punt now.
And Jake Good will come on to punt. It'll be his first attempt at a punt since having back-to-back punts blocked in the second half against Bryan a week ago.
You got to think he's worked on that, and he's going to be able to get that punt off quicker.
And during the course of our drive to Pine Bluff, Stats, who formerly was a high school punter, gave us some lessons, that things you may want to watch for Jake Good to see if he's moving forward as the ball is coming to him. Now he gets the ball away. Waited for the snap to get to him, but a really nice punt. Got a good bounce, and it will be downed inside the 35-yard line. Good job by Jake Good. A little confidence booster for him to get that punt away. 8:15 to play in the 3rd quarter. We'll take a 30-second timeout and come back to Conway Corporation, Channel 5 Sports. As we come back to Jordan Stadium, an incomplete pass on 1st down, so it'll be 2nd down and 10 for Pine Bluff as the pace of the second half has already kind of picked up a little bit.
Well, there's not been as many whistles.
That has been a big part of it.
Johnson with another good throw dropped by a receiver.
8:04 to go in the 3rd quarter, 28-14. Wampus Cats lead. Been a big night for Magic Jackson. Handoff. Patrick Wright gets a few yards. It'll be 3rd down. Wofford on the stop. So far, so good for this Wampus Cat team tonight. They needed a game like this to get a little confidence.
I agree, yeah. It was a good victory, and not only that, a good victory on the road, which is something we haven't seen in a while.
In a while, right.
Yeah, it's not over yet, Scott tells me. And he's right.
The stats guy, the punter of the team. He was a lot more than a punter. He wanted us to make sure that you realized that. Also played a little quarterback there at Marble Academy.
Quarterback and a receiver.
And wide receiver. Did you play high school football, Jim?
Yeah,
What position did you play?
wide receiver.
I guess I knew that.
Yeah.
I was a basketball manager, so I didn't play.
Oh,
You were free safety also. Stats is clearly the expert of the group. I folded towels and you ran routes. He did everything else. He was the Magic Jackson of Marvel Academy. 7:25 to play. Good third down stop by the Wampus Cats, and Pine Bluff's forced to punt it back.
wow.
And the first great punt of the night. Isaiah takes it at the 27-yard line. Isaiah Jackson. Highlight reel. Isaiah Jackson to the 48-yard line. Worth the price of admission, isn't he?
Why do they call it magic again? Because of runs like that.
Well, in 7 years, we haven't seen anybody like him. We've seen some good ones come through here.
Wow.
Number 3, Isaiah Jackson.
I think he got a little carried away there at the end. But regardless, a great run when it looked like he had nothing right here.
Should have been stopped so many times.
4, 5, 6, 7. Went through 7 people. 8.
Yeah, that move right there. He looked like, did you ever, and maybe we're dating ourselves, but maybe the parents that are listening will remember the game, the electronic football game where you put the little guys on the field and then you turned it on and it vibrated and they shook?
Yeah.
That's what Isaiah Jackson looks like to me. He's one of those little guys that you just can't watch. You can't keep your eye on because he's moving so much. Little end around to Angler. Nice run by him. His first carry up to the 41-yard line. Nice to see him. His first carry of the season, I believe. It'll be second down. No, it was first and 10. And again, Lester Robertson not on the field tonight. Don't know if why he is not playing, but we have not seen Lester Robertson. Yet another injured starter for this offense. 6.5 to play in this third quarter. 28-14, Wampus Cats leading by 14 points. And that's Dakota Cornett.
Wow.
Look at that. Past the 30-yard line to the 27, and it's first down. First and 10 for the Wampus Cats.
Conway.
Just a fantastic run by 20.
Brent Simmons with a nice push there of Cornett at the end. If you watch him.
Sure, yep.
That's pushing him.
Nice job by Simmons.
And Cornett just keeping his feet moving.
And a timeout on the field called by Pine Bluff. We'll take a 60-second timeout and be right back on Conway Corporation Channel 5 Sports. Welcome back to Jordan Stadium on the campus of Pine Bluff High School. Jeff Matthews and Jim Files and Stats, Scott Taylor over there keeping everything straight.
He's more than a stats guy.
He is more than a stats guy. It's more than a game. He's more than a stats guy. 28-14, Cats up. First down and 10 following the Pine Bluff timeout. 2 wideouts to the left. Dakota Cornett, and it was a good block. Eric Angler playing a good game. And Dakota takes a pretty hard hit.
Yeah, he got past that line of scrimmage. The linebackers come up and met him pretty quick, but a good gain. Cornett having a nice game.
Gave him a couple of yards there, second down.
14 carries, 82 yards. Cornett approaching the century mark.
Josh Crawford at the top of the screen making a good block as well. Calling some new names tonight, some guys that haven't seen a lot of playing time, but with the injuries the Wampus Cats have had to face, that's not a surprise that you're seeing more of these kids. And I think that's one of the reasons why Coach Smith loves this team this much.
Yeah.
Talks about the adversity that they face, the way they've handled it, the way they don't complain, they just keep working hard. And he loves this team. Jackson gets a few yards. It'll be third down.
Well, they do play with a lot of heart, and we've seen it all season.
Well, there have been some games that they've been out of at the end, but their effort has not changed at all. You can think about Dustin Hopper and Benton Conk and Brian Wofford and Blake Blaylock. And I know I'm leaving some guys out, but the guys you see on especially the defensive side of the football that may still be on the field playing against some second and third team guys. I think about the Bentonville game where they were still flying around so much, making big plays. Just effort from this team, and they're doing it tonight, and they're on the right end of the scoreboard, 28-14. Angler doesn't get a lot, and it will be fourth down. May see Ben Reiner coming on.
Let's see, it's a decision to make. They could go for it here, too.
And it will be Ben Reiner on to attempt a field goal, leading 28-14.
Talked to his dad at halftime. I said, when we had a shot at a 42-yard field goal, could he have made that?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, yeah, he made a 48-yarder in practice, so we'll see.
Oh, this is going to be a 29-yarder. 39-yard, putting the ball down at the 29-yard line. Hopper to hold, of course, since Ryan Koch's injury. Good snap, good hold.
Wow, wow.
39-yard field goal from Ben Reiner makes it 31-14. A 30-second timeout, and we're back to Pine Bluff next on Conway Corporation, Channel 5 Sports. Following the 39-yard field goal by Ben Reiner, it's 31-14. Wampus Cats have the lead.
What a weapon Ben Reiner's turned out to be. That is a great kick for him. It looked like it might just kind of hold up and not quite get there.
Right.
It looked like it had the accuracy the whole time, but it cleared that up right.
Well, one of the things I noticed during pregame warm-ups is not only was he kicking some from pretty good distance, from the 40, 45 yard range, but also kicking some from the hash marks, with a little bit of an angle, working on some of those and making them.
Well, that's been the only thing we've seen him miss.
And a timeout called by Coach Kenny Smith just as they were about to kick off. We'll take a 30-second timeout and come back and get that kickoff next on Conway Corporation Channel 5 Sports. Ben Reiner will be kicking off now, we believe. Not entirely sure why. A little pooch kick. It's Coach Smith.
Oh, and Conway had a great shot at it. I don't think they came up with it, though, or I'm not sure.
Had a couple of tries at it. And from the reaction of the Conway coaches, they didn't get it.
It was a beautiful kick, though. Ben Reiner did exactly what he was supposed to do.
How about Kenny Smith leading 31-14 and calling for a little trickeration? Isaiah Jackson had his hands on it.
Yeah, boy. It usually sticks to his hands, too.
So
missed that one, though.
Coaching against a young man that he watched grow up in Bobby Boulding, and he calls for the little pooch kick there.
That's where they've been starting anyway.
That's right.
35,
that's
so
right.
the field position is not bad. That's a nice play.
31-14, Wampus Cats lead. Johnson stands back in the pocket and fires. A little high. 2nd down and 10 coming up.
Yeah, the last 4 have been incompletions, but I think of those last 4, they all hit the receiver's hands. He hadn't had a lot of help. Johnson now 7 of 16, 132 yards.
This quarterback for Pine Bluff, number 12, is a sophomore. He's got a great arm. Struggles sometimes with his accuracy. I mean, that was a case where that ball just flew on him.
Right, yeah.
But certainly has a strong enough arm to throw the ball down the field. 3:54 to play in the third quarter. Cats leading 31-14. Lots of time. Now he's pressured and hit. Sacked by the Wampus Cat defense.
Maltbia and Conk meet at the quarterback.
Elton Farr stands up too. Benton Conk comes up showing some emotion we'd love to see from this defense. Benton's mom and brothers sitting in front of us here right in front of the press box. Had reason to cheer there as he got to him. Great play by the defense for the Wampus Cats, finally getting to that sophomore quarterback. 3rd down and 18.
That Pine Bluff offensive line's done a pretty good job in this game. They had success early when they ran, but when they got down a little bit, they started throwing the ball a lot more.
3:10 to play in the third quarter. Johnson fires downfield into double coverage.
Hopper was the closest guy on that one.
Hopper and Hurd were back there, and you're right, Hopper was the closest player to it, and he plays for us.
Good coverage for the Wampus Cats.
So 4th down and 18. There's 3 minutes to play in the third quarter, and Isaiah Jackson out to return the next punt, if it indeed it is going to be, and it will be a punt. 31-14. And Claude Johnson is also handling the punting duties for Bobby Boulding. And if you're just joining us and thinking, why does that name sound familiar? It sounds familiar because his father is Buzz Boulding, athletic director for the Wampus Cats. Johnson got away a great punt last time. A good high punt this time, and a fair catch called for and made. A little bobble on it, but made by Isaiah Jackson at the 50-yard line. That's where the Wampus Cats will have it 1st and 10 when we come back in 30 seconds on Conway Corporation, Channel 5 Sports. 1st and 10 for the Wampus Cats at midfield. Chase Calcagney will look to throw or run, and he'll run. He spins and gets some good yardage, almost 5 yards on the carry. Calcagney takes the hit.
Conway defense, after giving up that touchdown before the end of the half, have put together 3 3-and-outs. Very impressive.
In this half?
Yeah, in this half.
Nice.
Yeah. Very impressive job by the defense. And offenses continue to chug along.
2nd down and 5 for the Wampus Cats after that 5-yard gain from Chase Calcagney. He's going to think that every game he starts is homecoming. So far, 3 for 3. Central, Conway, and now Pine Bluff.
Well, he's finally going to win, though.
That's hopefully. Cart, horse thing.
Okay. All right.
Chicken,
I
egg.
got to settle down, right?
All right.
All right.
Don't make me spell out every.
It's still just the 3rd quarter, right?
Right.
All right.
But it feels good.
It does feel
feels
good.
better to be up on the 31-14 side of things than be on the 14-31 side of things. Under 2 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter.
Cornett now with 85 yards on 15 carries.
Josh Crawford far to the left side. Eric Engler joins him out there. 3rd down and 5. That's Dakota Cornett, and that's a first down
that
and
may be
more.
100 yards, too.
Dakota Cornett
Yep.
just spinning down to the 22-yard line. He was close to the century mark. That might have been enough to put him over.
It was. I'm going to say he's a fullback now.
Yeah.
They keep running like that. He's
Fullback
running
with-
downhill tonight.
With 4.4 speed.
Yeah. 16 carries now, 108 yards for Dakota Cornett to join Jackson over the century mark.
Jackson's getting close to 200 now, right?
Yeah, 188 for Jackson on 17 carries.
Minute 15 to play in the 3rd quarter. Wampus Cats leading 31-14.
And it's been a while since we've seen 2 backs over 100 yards and or one with 200 and one
Right.
with 100.
And with a minute to play in the 3rd quarter, the play clock was winding down, and Chase Calcagney calls a timeout. We'll take a 30-second break and come back with them on Conway Corporation, Channel 5 Sports. 1 minute to play in the 3rd quarter from Pine Bluff's Jordan Stadium. And the Wampus Cats lead 31-14. 1st and 10, the Cats driving, looking to put some more points on the board. And it's worth mentioning again, following that drive that ended the first half by Pine Bluff, this Wampus Cat defense played great 3 3-and-outs in the 3rd quarter.
That's right. They're pitching a shutout here in the 2nd half.
1st and 10. 2 wideouts to the left.
I guess it'd be more than pitching a shutout. It's pitching a no-hitter, right?
Yeah, at this point it is. Yeah, 3 3-and-outs. 2nd down, short yardage there for Dakota Cornett. As you're watching this on either Saturday morning or Monday evening, hope you'll join us on Friday night of this week as the Wampus Cats play their final home game. Russellville in town, traditional rival, much like Cabot, that was a rival for so long outside the conference, and now a conference rivalry as well. So it's kind of ratcheted up a little bit. The intensity is Conway hopefully will be coming into that game off of a victory as the Cyclones of Russellville make the trip to John McConnell Stadium next Friday night. We hope that you will join us for that and root on these Wampus Cats, and especially these senior Cats who will be playing their last home game at John McConnell Stadium.
Yeah, these guys deserve your support. They're playing with a lot of heart. Tough loss last week against Bryant, and the way they've come out on the road against a tough Pine Bluff team,
Yep.
a lot better than their record, safely to say. They have played outstanding.
The 4th quarter is coming up next. That's the final play of the 3rd quarter. 31-14, Cats are up. 60 seconds, and then we're back to Pine Bluff on Conway Corporation, Channel 5 Sports. There's football on your screen as you're watching Conway Corporation, Channel 5 Sports as we enter the 4th quarter, 31-14. Wampus Cats are 12 minutes away from getting a victory that they've needed pretty badly. Since North Little Rock, we've been waiting for a win.
Yeah, just need to calm down a little bit, Jeff. This
I'm
game's
sorry,
not
I know.
over.
There's still 12 minutes to go.
I've been doing that too. It's just watching this game, though. You can see that Conway is dominating this game, and they're dominated up front, and Jackson and Cornett are running through those holes as hard as they can and fast as they can. And another flag, something we hadn't seen a whole lot of in this second half. After 12 in the first half, we finally see our first one in the second half. So I'm glad the officials got together at halftime and talked it over.
They did.
Said we're throwing too many flags.
Well, they were calling everything in the first half. Penalty against the Wampus Cats. That'll back them up 5 yards. Isaiah Jackson, 3 touchdowns tonight. Dakota Cornett has scored 1, and Ben Reiner a 39-yard field goal and all 4 extra points. That's all the scoring, and a couple of touchdown passes by Claude Johnson, the 14 points for the Pine Bluff Zebras. The defense has played well. You mentioned it, kind of that zone defense is where they've struggled, but otherwise they've really played well.
Yeah, the zone defense has been the only problem with that defense. Other than that, they have played outstanding throughout the year. After the first game, anyway.
Right.
Put a little asterisk up there. First game.
11:45 to play in tonight's game. Isaiah Jackson looking for his 4th touchdown of the night. He puts his shoulder down, gets inside the 5-yard line. He will not score. He is tackled by Anthony Graham.
He just runs like his life depends on getting in the end zone. You could just watch the last of this run here. He did not want to be denied the end zone right there.
What?
and it was just a one finger, I think, that had on his jersey that stopped him from getting that touchdown, which would have been his 4th touchdown of this game.
So it's first down and goal from the 3-yard line.
And also of note with that run, Jackson now 209 yards.
My goodness, what a game.
19 carries, 11 yards a carry.
Cal Cagney will give it to Isaiah Jackson.
Oh, that looks like a face mask.
Nowhere to go that time.
Must have had a shoulder pad.
And it'll be second down and goal. 11 minutes to play in the game. Looking to get in the end zone again and stretch this lead out even more. It's 31-14 right now for the Wampus Cats. We watch Isaiah's feet. Watch the way he plants and moves. And in that case, he wasn't able to go left as quickly as he wanted to, and that hole closed up pretty quickly.
Right.
Second down and goal for the Cats. The ball is at the 5-yard line. Tanner Bowling, the center, brings the team up. And Chase Calcagney, the sophomore quarterback, has really played a great game tonight. Leads his team up. And Dakota Cornett into the end zone. Dakota Cornett scores from 5 yards out. And the Wampus Cats do extend their lead.
Cornett, 18 carries, 117 yards, and 2 touchdowns for him. Any other day, maybe player of the game. Not that I want to give that away yet.
No. Ben Reiner to attempt the extra point. Trying to extend the lead out to 38-14, or excuse me, 38-14. It's 37-14 right now. And it's worth noting for those who didn't make the trip down and have been to the Wampus Cat home games, and you thought the crowd has sometimes been a little quiet for the Wampus Cats. That has not been the case tonight. The contingent of fans that made the trip down, they have made a lot of noise. It's been nice to hear. 38-14, the Wampus Cats have the lead. We take a 60-second timeout and come back on Common Corporation Channel 5 Sports. The ensuing kickoff returned to the 35-yard line by Pine Bluff as Ben Reiner kicks it deep, and it will be 1st and 10 for the Zebras with 10:09 to play in what's been a successful game in Pine Bluff, and I'm sure we'll get a shot of it at some point because it's become a focal point. Isaiah Jackson's pants. Magic's got a pretty decent-sized rip in his pants, and
it's a good thing he's got bicycle shorts on under that.
Right, got some shorts on under, but he was coming off the field. Another sack by the Wampus Cat defense. Boy, they played great in this second half. Ben Conk there, and also 73, Tyler Hall. But Isaiah Jackson was coming off the field, and Brooke Mines, the athletic trainer for the Wampus Cat, she gave a big high five, and Jackson was laughing and looking down and saying, yep, they're ripped. Everybody sees it. There's nothing I can do now. But it's good to see these kids smiling. They have deserved a game like this. 38-14, Wampus Cats up. Second down. Johnson throws. And it is tipped and almost intercepted, but it'll fall incomplete.
Hopper with a nice play on the ball.
3rd down and 14.
Heard there almost to pick it off.
9 minutes and 35 seconds to play in the ball game. Claude Johnson standing there in the pocket and throwing another good deep ball, but just into double coverage. 3rd down and 14. 4th possession of the second half, and it has been 3 and out on every possession so far.
Too much time.
Tip intercepted. Picked off by Benton Conk.
Oh, wow.
Benton Conk's mom handing out the high fives down in front of us, giving Blake Blaylock's mom a high five and a hug. And great play by the senior Benton Conk. Watch as he steps up and makes this interception.
Conk with 3 tackles, several quarterback pressures, 2 sacks, and now an interception. A great game for him.
Benton couldn't get his feet underneath him as he just kept moving.
Well,
he fell forward for 5 yards there.
He's not used to running with the ball.
No, but that happened pretty quickly. But
yeah, a great night for him in front of several members of his family.
Yep.
Well, I believe his brother's there.
His brother Chase recently, just this past week, got a new job with the University of Arkansas Little Rock's athletic department. And so congratulations to Chase. And, of course, Coach Conk, they've had some success on the UCA football field. And so been a good week to be a Conk.
Everybody running with purpose tonight for the Wampus Cats.
Eric Engler again. Good to see him, seeing some time there on that wingback position. Normally we see Lester Robertson there. No Robertson tonight. David Tyler, number 15, getting some time as he comes in.
Well, I was going to say, while we're doing other Wampus Cat updates, the Lady Cats have won yet another conference volleyball championship. Congrats to them.
Absolutely. And we are less than a month away from the grand opening, basketball-wise, of the new Wampus Cat gymnasium, multi-purpose, whatever, Mecca.
Facility,
it's a beautiful facility. We can't wait to see the inside of it and start calling basketball games there very soon. Dakota Cornett a few yards. It'll be 3rd down. You know, we've had 1 punt tonight. There have been a number of penalties. 1 punt that we mentioned by Jake Good. Mm-hmm. Something we haven't seen from the Wampus Cats, and correct me if I'm wrong, but no turnovers.
Right, yeah, no
interceptions,
turnovers.
No fumbles tonight by the Wampus Cats. They have protected the football. 8 minutes and 20 seconds to play in the ball game. Wampus Cats leading 38-14. Cornett 2 touchdowns and Magic Jackson 3 touchdowns tonight.
Very well played game for the Wampus Cats.
Reiner to the near side.
A couple of more false starts than maybe they wanted, but look at that Cornett running so hard.
It'll have enough.
I
for
believe
a
he
first
got
down.
it. Yeah,
did have enough. And so 1st and 10 for the Cats. The clock stops just under 8 minutes to play. 7:57 left in the game, and it's 1st and 10 Wampus Cats. The first team still in there, still getting some reps, and knowing that next week is such another big game. They're trying to get to 4-3 in the conference, and it's going to mean tonight's victory and 2 more. You know, if you're going to make the playoffs, you got to beat some good teams. You just can't beat those lower level teams in the conference. They've taken care of the 2 winless teams after tonight, Pine Bluff and North Little Rock. Russellville next week, Catholic the following week, but still a chance for this team to have a winning record in the conference. Cornett on the carry, but a flag on the far side of the football field.
Yeah, that'll be coming back. And that's the only black mark on this game is the false starts.
3rd game that Chase Calcagni has started, and that's something that you might see a few more of the false starts whenever you have a new quarterback. Cadences are different, and just the voice is different, just those things that are different. But it's his 3rd game he started, so we'd hope that some of those things would have already been ironed out.
Sure. Yeah.
And they will back him up a little bit.
Well, and last week he pretty much only played a half. Jackson playing pretty much the whole second half.
Yep.
So.
And the red package we haven't seen at all tonight.
No, it hadn't.
Chase Calcagni has really played a good game at quarterback.
Well, we didn't have to see it. Everything was working from the start of this game for the Wampus Cats.
Yeah, no need for wrinkles tonight. 7 minutes and 19 seconds. The clock's running. The Cats are up 38-14.
Talk about sharing the load between your backs. Cornett and Jackson both with 20 carries each. 126 for Cornett and 207 for Jackson.
Cornett another carry. And a few yards.
All right, there's the flags that we hadn't seen in a while. That could have been face mask.
Pine Bluff Zebras thought they had a fumble recovery, but they did not.
See if we can see. Well, it didn't appear to be a face mask, so blocking.
I don't know what it was. It came in there late, it seemed like.
Holding.
It will be holding against the Wampus Cats. That'll back them up a little bit. Back to the 34-yard line, almost the 35, where the Wampus Cats will have it first and even more now.
Penalties are really hurting Conway on this drive.
Well, it's going to make for a fun bus ride home, that's for sure. And it's been a long time since these guys have had a fun bus ride home. It's been a while since there's been a good road victory.
It's a fun drive for us, too, when they win.
Yeah, absolutely it is.
All these Wampus Cats Wampus Cat fans that'll be driving back will enjoy it as well.
Dakota Cornett again, right up the middle, not much. It'll be second down and probably 22 or so, 21. He didn't get a whole lot there.
Might get to see Chase air one out here.
What, 2 out of 3 tonight or 2 out of 4? For Chase Calcagney?
I believe that's right. I believe it's 2 out of 3. 2 out of 3, 45 yards.
So he hasn't attempted to pass here in the second half.
No.
The second half that began with the first play from scrimmage, a 49-yard touchdown run by Isaiah Jackson, one in which he continued to accelerate until he was about 5 yards into the end zone.
There wasn't anybody within 30 yards of it, and he was still accelerating.
Second down and 22. Just under 6 minutes to play in the game. Wampus Cats lead comfortably, 38-14. Dakota Cornett past the 20 to the 16-yard line, and it will be third down for the Cats, but good yardage for Dakota Cornett. What's he up to now?
Just a great night as we got stats adding up this last drive. Cornett now 22 carries, 143 yards.
My goodness. So he gets a few more. We'll have 2 over 150 tonight. If you missed it, Isaiah Jackson over 200 yards rushing tonight, 45 yards receiving tonight. Just a huge game for the senior.
And it's been a while since we've seen 2 backs over 100 yards, substantially over 100 yards in this case.
Take you back to the Hillis and Wardlow days and think about those 2 guys and what they did with the football. Eric Engler
right
inside
to the
the
goal
5-yard line and just short. He wanted to get in the end zone so badly.
I take it back. Why pass? That offensive line is just dominating now. They have worn that defense out for Pine Bluff.
The senior Eric Engler almost into the end zone. Watch 81 here.
Well, you were hoping he would get it. That was a nice run, and he's having a nice game too. 4 carries, 28 yards.
Well, and you hope they'll call his number right here and let 81 get into the end zone. He's set up on the right side in the wingback slot. 38-14. Cats, they'll call Chase Calcagney's number. And you know what? Number 1 deserves a chance to score too.
Yeah.
The sophomore quarterback, Chase Calcagney, scores from a yard out. And it's 44-14. The sophomore who's become just a delight to watch play.
Yeah.
He just seems to be a great kid. Gets a chance to score a touchdown there with his dad in the booth next to us. And there's a good shot of Isaiah Jackson's pants. We talked about his pants being ripped. As he's getting to watch one of his teammates get into the end zone as Chase Calcagney scores from a yard out. Ben Reiner will attempt the extra point and extend the lead to 45-14. Wampus Cats in a romp tonight, back in 30 seconds to Pine Bluff on Conway Corporation, Channel 5 Sports. Look at the Wampus Cats bouncing out onto the football field. It is good to see those kids having fun on a Friday night. 45-14, another successful drive for the Wampus Cats, Jim.
Yeah, 8-play drive, 2 first downs. Just a domination from the offensive line. Cornett with 143 yards, Jackson 207, Engler with 28, and about 1 yard short of getting him a touchdown that Calcagney picked up, and he deserved it too. A great game so far for Calcagney.
Ben Reiner kicks it deep. Taken by Jarvis Mayo. Right up the middle. Brian Wofford and Terrell Hurd there to make the stop on special teams, and they'll stay on the field as defense, or will they? Yep, still the first team defense out there. For the most part, we're seeing a few new
Hopper's coming off.
few new players out there. Yeah, Hopper's coming off. Into the game, number 92, Jonathan Cox. See some time in the secondary. Also, number 80 is in the game, Cedric Barber for the Wampus Cats. Make sure we get as many of these players in the game as we can. Daniel Ellenberg, number 67, also in. And we assume that we'll see some more passes here from Claude Johnson. Then that means they'll hand the ball off because I'm not a coach. Patrick Wright. Bobby Boulding may be accepting the fate of the Zebras tonight. They're going to lose this football game, and they will remain winless. They'll fall to 0-7-1 overall and 0-5 in the conference. The Wampus Cats are going to improve to 3-5 overall and 2-3 in conference play. Chance to get 2 more victories and be above 500 in the conference, and to get to 500 overall. 3-5 right now with 2 to play.
Wofford coming off the field. Nice night for him. 4 tackles and pass defense.
Coming in there with a late hit, Garrett Graham. He doesn't get a whole lot of playing time and wanted to hit somebody there on a Friday night.
And I tell you what, you said you stand on that sideline long enough. When you get a game, you want to hit somebody.
You do. You want to hit somebody. You see he comes in there a little bit late.
Be careful there, yeah.
Some of the other Wampus Cats that are in, 42. Silas Owens is in the game. 3rd down and 1. 95 is in the game. Xavier Oates. 3:30 to play in the game. Wampus Cats going to have a fun drive home, leading 45-14 right now. Handoff. It'll be enough for a first down. Carry by Martavius Alford. Josh King, 76, in the game for the Cats. And Blake Blaylock will come off to a nice round of applause.
Blaylock also with a nice game. Yep. 4 tackles for him.
Blake's mom standing and applauding. She, of course, 2 years in a row now watching her senior son play football. Her son Grant a year ago playing his senior year, and Blake playing his senior year this year. 3 minutes to play in the game. Holding, but no flag. And I think the kid doing the holding, number 19, Chris Scott, knew he was doing the holding so much that he tried to mask it. But no flag on the play, and that's fine. Right? Is it fine?
Oh, yes. After the first half,
okay.
Yeah. They can go the rest of the game without throwing a flag. Daniel Ellingberg had him in the backfield, but couldn't bring him down.
2.5 minutes to play in the game, and some of the Wampus Cats dancing on the sideline. Haven't seen a lot of dancing on the sideline this year.
No, we hadn't. It's good to see. Good to see them happy.
Alford on the carry. And in on the tackle, Silas Owens is over there. I think Ellenberg was in on that one as well.
Yep. Ellenberg making his second tackle.
Yeah, he did. Ellenberg had him around the waist. So, Jim, the Wampus Cats are going to win. They're going to improve to 3-5 overall and 2-3 in the conference. And, you know, this Pine Bluff team has struggled, obviously, but it's cliched to say they're the best winless team we've seen.
Yeah, definitely.
But they kind of are. They've had some impressive games this year. That game against Russellville, they almost went on the road and beat the Cyclones, and they tied Fayetteville on the road. So this is a pretty good football team that Conway manhandled tonight.
Yeah, you look at the score, and it's really not about how bad Pine Bluff is. It's about how well Conway played. And for the first time this season, they just really clicked on all their cylinders. And Coach Smith talked about, clicking on 8 cylinders instead of 11.
Right.
I'm not sure if they make an 11-cylinder engine, but the point is all 11 cylinders are clicking tonight. They're all firing tonight. And just about every aspect. I mean, if you want to point at one thing, it's that zone coverage. They've got to work on that a little bit. I think Russellville could throw it around a little bit.
Sure.
So they're going to need to get ready for that. But if this team executes like that, just take it one game at a time. But they've certainly got a shot against Russellville and then Catholic.
Russellville next week, and then on the road against Little Rock Catholic at War Memorial Stadium, that Thursday night game that traditionally they play. And I don't know if our camera guys can see it, but there are a couple of Wampus Cats on the end. It's big number 73, Tyler Hall, and I think Mike Askew was down there at one point, but it's Tyler Hall that's kind of leading the dancing that's going on. And just a chance to get some dancing on tape with Tyler Hall to be able to use for his rehearsal dinner sometime in the future would be good. There he is. Look at that move. You don't see that everywhere. We don't have that in us.
He's going to love to see that see that Saturday morning.
Good job by our camera guys, Ben and Matt, who are out in the elements tonight. Kind of a cool.
It is
finally
gotten cooler. It's going to get down
now
in the 40s.
Now that it's week 8, finally starting to feel like football weather officially. Under a minute to play. And you know it's out of hand when we can show you dancing Tyler Hall. And a good run.
And this defense still wants to shut out this Pine Bluff team in the second half. So
Jonathan Cox there on the stop.
Got to keep playing hard.
45-14, Wampus Cats are going to win and improve that record to 3-5. Victories over Pine Bluff, North Little Rock, and Benton this year. And with 2 games to go, Russellville followed by Catholic. And we will have those games for you, of course, right here on Conway Corporation, Channel 5. We hope that you will join us. And again, if you're watching this game and it's Saturday or if it's Monday evening, make plans to come out to John McConnell Stadium on Friday night and support these kids, especially the seniors, again, as they play that final home game. And Wampus Cats and Wampus Cat Blue to come through the field house and run through the tunnel and to hear the cheers, be there to make a lot of noise and give this team the support that they certainly deserve in what will be the final home game next week for these Wampus Cats. Final regular season home game. I guess some crazy things can happen if you make the playoffs and if the bracketing is right. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Exactly.
That's going to be the final score. 45-14. The Wampus Cats go on the road and get a very, very big victory. Congratulations to Kenny Smith and all of his coaches and the Wampus Cat football team. Big win, 45-14, as Sean McFarland does the backflip that we all wish we could do, but Sean can do it. Back in just a moment with final stats and our player of the game after this 30-second timeout on Conway Corporation, Channel 5 Sports. And the Wampus Cats and the Zebras shake hands in the center of the field. Final score, 45-14. Wampus Cats get that big victory. 3 touchdowns by Isaiah Magic Jackson, 2 by Dakota Cornett, and Chase Calcagney got in there at the end of the game to make the final score, 45-14. Ben Reiner, a great game, kicking the football tonight, making all of his extra points and his field goal attempt that he had. And just a great game for the Cats. And Jim, you got the final stats put together by Scott Taylor.
Well, and you got to mention, too, the defense to start the second half, 4 3-and-outs.
Wow.
Very impressive effort by them. Interception ending the last of those 4. Statistically, Conway 45 yards passing the ball, Pine Bluff 132, rushing 377 yards for Conway, 64 for Pine Bluff, 422 total yards for Conway, 196 for Pine Bluff, and Calcagney 2 of 3, 45 yards. Those 2 receptions going to Jackson, obviously 2 receptions for 45 yards. Jackson also 20 carries, 207 yards, 10 yards a carry, 3 touchdowns. And his backmate back there with him, Cornett, 22 carries, 143 yards, 2 touchdowns, 6.5 yards a carry. Also a nice game for Engler, 4 carries, 28 yards, 7 yards a carry for him. And just a fun night, I think. The offensive line dominated the game, and the defense dominated the second half. A fun night.
And last week, the one real bad mark on this football team was the special teams, specifically the punting game.
Right.
They had one chance tonight. Jake got the punt away, and everything worked out fine there. So, all in all, a really, really great night.
Yeah.
And our player of the game is?
Well, you got to give it to Jackson.
It's
honorable
hard
mention
not to, isn't it?
To Cornett, and also to Conk had a great game defensively.
Had the interception and some big sacks as well. Just all around. Well, you could give it to everybody tonight.
Ben Reiner also a nice game.
Yep. Well, fun to be a Wampus Cat tonight. The Cats win. They improved to 3-5 overall, 2-3 in the conference, and a happy group of Wampus Cat football players and cheerleaders on your screen right now. And again, congratulations to Kenny Smith and the whole coaching staff on what's a big, big victory. All right, come out and support the Cats on Friday night. Be there as the Wampus Cats play host to Russellville. For Jim Files and for Scott Taylor, I'm Jeff Matthews, and for Wayne and the rest of the crew, just a great job downstairs and up in the stands with the cameramen as well. We'll see you on Friday night. Come out and see the Wampus Cats play at John McConnell Stadium. Until then, have a great night, everybody.